2 days from now, the world will be celebrating the International Women's Day. Women will be greeted with roses, chocolates and cupcakes at work and outside. There will be pro-women tweets, posts and photos online. But come Monday, it will be another week and everything will be back to the so-called normal. The truth is, we are living in a very biased society. A recent report from the United Nations says that 90% of men and women have biases against females. The number is not surprising given the number of women who have taken to the streets in recent times fighting for their basic rights. It is 2020. 172 years have passed since women organized their first rights convention. It has been 162 years since the famous "Ain't I a Woman" speech. We have seen 57 summers since Valentina Tereshkova became the first woman to travel to space. 94 winters have passed since Gertrude Edel swam across the English Channel. It is 2020 and one would have thought men and women are equal by now. Turns out, equality has been overruled by bias. As per a United Nations report, at least 90% of men and women have biases against females. The numbers only get more horrifying. 50% of men around the world said they have more right to a job than a woman. 1/3 of these men thought it was okay for men to hit their partners. 50% of global respondents thought that men make better politicians. In China, 55% of respondents thought men make better political leaders. In the US, the number was 39%. No surprises then why the Oval Office is yet to see a woman president. Why just Washington? Look around you. How many women do you really see in governments? There are 193 countries. Only 10 of these have women calling the shots. How many are heading governments? The number is lower than it was 5 years ago. The bias percolates to every sector. In the labor market, women draw lesser salaries than men. Senior positions often are reserved for the male employees. 40% people globally think men are better suited to be business executives. 69% of people in India believe the same. The number in the UK stands at 25%. There is not a single gender-equal country in the world. In other words, discrimination against women is a global phenomenon. Is it surprising then that women across continents have been protesting for over a year now? In Chile, women marched against patriarchy. In Washington, they staged flash mobs. In Argentina, women came together to demand legalized abortion. There were protests against President Bolsonaro's genocidal policies in Brazil. Madrid saw protests against gender violence. In the Sudan too, gender violence brought women to the streets. Things were no different in South Africa. These protests were a long time coming. Let us time travel a little. A letter was written on the 31st of March 1776. This was to the founding father of America, John Adams. Penning the words was his wife and the future First Lady, Abigail Adams. Here's what she said. Remember the ladies and be more generous and favorable to them than your ancestors. If care and attention is not paid to the ladies, we are determined to foment a rebellion and will not hold ourselves bound by any laws in which we have no voice or representation. Bureau Report, WION World is One.